The 2022 FIFA World Cup will take place in Qatar from November 20th to December 18th, 2022. This will be the first World Cup in Qatar and the Middle East as a region, with games played at 8 stadiums across the country, including 4 in Doha, the capital. Qatar is the smallest state by area to host the World Cup, and almost all of its stadiums were built within the past decade, specifically for the tournament. The decision to host the tournament in Qatar has led to corruption charges and arrests within FIFA and the global soccer community, following allegations of bribery from Qatar. While the World Cup typically takes place during the summer, the extreme heat forced organizers to move the tournament to the winter. However, the heat is still likely to be a factor during the tournament. While the stadiums have world-class air conditioning systems, retractable roofs, and other cooling features, these systems will be significantly tested. Qatar will likely struggle to host an event of this size. Early operational tests exposed serious issues. More than 77,000 fans, the largest crowd in Qatari history, came to a recent match at the Lusail Iconic Stadium, which will later host the World Cup final. At the stadium, several key issues were revealed, including running out of water, overcrowding at exits, and a lack of preparation for larger crowds. The tournament is based in Doha, which will expand its population by at least 50% during the tournament, stressing its infrastructure, although some fans will stay in neighboring Abu Dhabi and fly in daily. Qatar is also a relatively conservative nation, and while the prosecution of foreigners will likely be relaxed during the tournament, it is important to be aware of certain cultural norms. Alcohol can only be consumed in certain fan areas and hotels, and fans cannot bring their own alcohol. LGBT visitors are also recommended to avoid public displays of affection, as LGBT rights are threatened in Qatar. Migrants, many working as forced labor with seized passports and economically forced to stay, were instrumental in building the stadium infrastructure and the broader Qatari economy. While the majority of visitors to the World Cup will be safe, there are risks to attending the tournament. While LGBT visitors are unlikely to be arrested, they may be at a higher risk of attack by other fans. Qatar is also focused on combating cyber threats, as many international visitors to the tournament may be seen as high-value targets. Major tournaments also increase the likelihood of sexual violence, which is a significant issue in a country where sexual violence against women is seen as an extramarital affair, preventing them from seeking proper health care. FIFA denies that this will be the case at the 2022 World Cup, but this is still a risk for the tournament. The United States, France, and other nations have agreed to send security to Qatar for the tournament, strengthening tournament safety. There have not been any publicized security threats, but any large event has a risk of terrorist attacks, riots, and other dangerous incidents. Visitors to the tournament would be relatively safe, as the overall crime rate for large tournaments is relatively low. The 2010 World Cup in South Africa, for example, saw at least a 60% reduction in crime in the area, likely due to the increased security presence. While there are significant risks that travelers should be aware of, the tournament is likely to be relatively safe for students. Qatar's infrastructure and organizational capabilities will be tested during the tournament. While Qatar has hosted matches before, nothing at this scale has happened in the nation. Fans should monitor several key elements to the tournament, including high temperature, organizational capabilities, prosecution based on conservative values, or any other aspects that could threaten the safety or security of visiting fans.